Milka Chocolate has been around since 1901, and today it's one of the most recognized names in Europe, with 97% in Germany knowing it by name, and over half having tasted it in the past year. Behind those numbers is a process that combines tradition, Alpine milk, and precise machines working day and night. But what exactly happens inside the factory to create that bar that millions enjoy around the world? Let's break it all down here in the process world.
It takes a special kind of place and a special kind of cow to get a special kind of milk that makes a very special chocolate. Milka milk chocolate, now available in Australia.
The story of Milka Chocolate dates back to 1901 with a Swiss chocolatier named Philippe Suchard. He came up with the name Milka by combining two German words, Milch meaning milk and cacao meaning cocoa. Right from the start, Milka set itself apart by using Alpine milk, known for its creamy taste, and blending it with fine cocoa. This combination gave the chocolate a smooth, melt-in-the-mouth feel that people quickly grew to love. One of the biggest steps Milka took early on was using powdered milk instead of fresh milk. This made it much easier to mix with cocoa, and it also helped the chocolate stay fresh for longer. As the years went by, Milka grew into a household name across Europe. And in 1972, something big happened. The lilac-colored cow became the face of the brand. It was a smart move that made Milka stand out even more on the shelves, linking it closely with the Alpine region and high-quality milk. But how is it made step by step? Before getting into that, please leave a like and subscribe for more amazing videos like this one. Now, moving on. Before any Milka bar makes its way to the factory floor, everything starts with a few key ingredients: cocoa beans, milk, and sugar. Each one is carefully chosen to meet the brand's high standards. The cocoa beans are sourced from regions known for growing quality cocoa, like parts of South America and West Africa. These beans are full of natural cocoa butter, which gives the chocolate its smooth texture. The beans first go through a roasting, which brings out their deep flavor. Once roasted, they're peeled, crushed, and ground into a thick, dark paste called cocoa mass. At this stage, it's rich in cocoa butter, but still quite bitter. On its own, it doesn't taste like the sweet chocolate that people know. That comes later when the sugar and milk are added. Milka uses milk from Alpine regions, and instead of using it fresh, they turn it into powdered milk. This step helps remove water content, making it easier to mix with the cocoa mass during production. Powdered milk also gives Milka chocolate a soft, creamy feel. By the way, all these ingredients are tested carefully before anything begins. The goal is to make sure that every batch has the same quality, taste, and smoothness that people expect from Milka. So even before the factory machines start running, there's a lot of work involved in getting the ingredients just right. And once everything is ready, that's when the real transformation begins. The cocoa mass arrives thick and dark, carrying a strong, bitter flavor. It's poured into large industrial mixers, and this is where the sugar and powdered Alpine milk are added. These three ingredients, cocoa, milk, and sugar, are the heart of every Milka bar. At first, the mix is rough and grainy. To smooth it out, it's passed through a set of rollers. These rollers break down the particles, making everything fine and softer. It's an important step because it helps the chocolate develop its creamy texture. Without it, the chocolate would feel gritty and dry. The machines are built to keep everything consistent, so each batch turns out the same. From the mixing to the refining, it all runs with exact timing and control. The goal here is simple: take those raw ingredients and turn them into a smooth blend that's ready for the next stage. Every part of this step is about building the base. Once the chocolate leaves this section, it's no longer just a mix of ingredients. It's already starting to feel like Milka chocolate. And the next step is what gives it that signature melt-in-your-mouth feeling. This is where the flavor and texture come together. The chocolate is poured into large machines called conches, and inside it's slowly stirred for several hours. The movement and gentle heat help remove any leftover bitterness and bring out the softer, creamier taste. This step also improves the way the chocolate feels in your mouth. During conching, moisture and unwanted acids are reduced. At the same time, the ingredients blend even more closely, which gives the chocolate that soft and silky finish that Milka is known for. Conching wasn't always a part of chocolate making. Philippe Souchard, the man behind Milka, built his conch early on to improve the texture of his chocolate. That idea helped shape the smooth style that Milka kept over the years. In the factory today, there are several conching machines running at once, all carefully timed to make sure that the chocolate reaches just the right texture and flavor. Nothing in this step is rushed. It's a slow process, but it plays a big role in giving Milka its famous creamy feel. Once the conching is complete, the chocolate is ready for shaping. That's where it really starts to look like the bars that people know. At this stage, the chocolate is poured into molds shaped like Milka bars. These molds are designed to give the bars their exact shape and size. Once filled, the molds are gently shaken. This helps remove air bubbles and spreads the chocolate evenly across every corner. The next part is cooling. The molds move through a cooling tunnel where the temperature is carefully controlled. This step helps the chocolate solidify while keeping that glossy, clean finish on the surface. If the chocolate cools too fast or too slow, it loses that smooth texture. That's why timing and temperature are closely watched the entire time. Once the bars are firm, the molds are flipped and the chocolate is released. The bars are now fully formed and ready to be checked. A quick inspection follows to make sure that everything looks right. No cracks, no uneven edges, just clean, perfect bars. By this point, the chocolate has gone from roasted beans to a solid bar with that classic Milka look. The only thing left now is to get it wrapped and ready for shelves. Milka is known for its soft lilac paper, which has been part of its look for decades. The purple color stands out and is often linked to the Alpine background and the creamy milk used in the chocolate. How is this process carried out? Simple. Machines pick up every bar and gently move them along the line. They're wrapped quickly but carefully to keep the chocolate fresh and protected. Each wrapper includes the Milka name, the cow logo, and the signature colors that make people recognize it instantly. This step isn't just about looks. It also helps seal in the flavor and make sure that the chocolate stays smooth and clean during transport. The machines are designed to work fast, handling thousands of bars every hour while keeping everything consistent. In recent years, Milka has also started testing new packaging materials. One example is a paper-based wrapper that can be recycled more easily. This move supports efforts to cut down on plastic waste and make packaging more eco-friendly. So while the wrapping may seem simple, there's a lot of thought behind it. It protects the product, carries the brand's identity, and now it's also helping support the environment. And here's the interesting part you didn't know about Milka. You see, Milka may have started in Switzerland, but today it's produced across several countries in Europe. One of the main factories is in Lörrach, Germany. This single facility makes over 100,000 tons of chocolate every year. With a strong focus on the standard 100-gram bars, it runs with advanced equipment and a high level of quality control to make sure that every bar meets the same standard. There's also a large production plant in Blundes, Austria. This one handles bigger bars, usually between 200 to 400 grams. Then in France, there's the Strasbourg factory that specializes in pralines. In Belgium, the Herentals plant produces items like the Leo bars. Other Milka factories are located in Slovakia and Poland, showing just how wide Milka's reach has grown. Each of these factories is responsible for different types of products, depending on the market and demand. What stays consistent across all of them is the recipe and the attention to detail. From the cocoa and milk used to the final steps of packaging and shipping, everything is carefully controlled. This wide network helps Milka supply chocolate to stores across the world. Whether someone is buying a Milka bar in Germany, France, or another country, it's made with the same care and ingredients. That's one of the reasons why Milka has remained one of the most trusted and loved chocolate brands in the world. So now that you've seen how a handful of simple ingredients turn into one of the world's most loved chocolate bars, what would you invent if you had access to that creamy Alpine milk, smooth chocolate, and a factory full of chocolate making machines? Share your thoughts in the comments section below.